Thank you for being here. My name is Ricky Dubs. I am Richard Wade with the new Texas Geographic Information Office. Whoop! And I guess I kind of really need to start with that. One of the things that is brand new, and some of y'all know this, but we are no longer TENRIS. We are now called Texas GIO, or Texas Geographic Information Office. And that's something that actually had to go to the legislature to have passed. And so, I've been a part of TNRIS since 1986. I was kind of in it, went to the private sector for a while, but came back. So it's kind of bittersweet for us to lose our name of TENRIS, or TNRS, as we used to say back in the day. 51 years we've had that name. But it's been quite amazing to see all the changes that have happened, and we needed to modernize the name. And so, of course, it just made sense to be the Geographic Information Office. And there's a lot of us that are around the state. There's a lot of GIOs around the state, and of course, we're called the Geographic Information Officers, and so they're housed at they're housed in their agencies. But it's been something that it's been long. We've been thinking about, and it's been long in coming, and so we're really, really excited. It's going to be hard. I think we're going to mess up a lot as we talk up here. We're going to call ourselves TENRIS, but it's a learning process, and we'll get through it. So, we've had an amazing turnout this year. When you do these things, you don't know what kind of turnout you're going to have. We had 119 turnout for the workshops on Monday and Tuesday. As of this morning, and they were still counting, but we had 410 attendees. Which is a very, very, thank you. That's a huge deal. You never know how the turnout's going to be, and we couldn't be more excited to have that kind of turnout. We had 23 sponsors. We sold them all out. I think that's the first time we've ever done that. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. 10 workshops, and we had over 47 presentations. So it's going to be an amazing event. We got something really, really fun planned for you. But before we get going, I got a couple of thank yous that I wanted to go through. Some people I need to acknowledge. For sure, I need to acknowledge Esri. We've been doing this for 34 years. Esri's been here for 34 years. And they've been a part of this ever since. So they're our partners on this. I mean, really. And of course, there would be no GIS Forum if Esri didn't exist, right? So the whole reason we're even here is because of Esri. So I did want to thanks to Esri for always just being solid for us and always helping us out. Tracy and John and team, y'all have just been amazing. And so we just know we can always count on y'all. Sanborn, couldn't tell you how much we appreciate you guys being platinum this year. I saw, Morgan is here, Mo is here, Matt is here. You guys have been really helping us out. If you've used our Texas imagery program, Sanborn is the group that's handling all of that. So it's just been phenomenal, and more work to be coming for sure. And one of our new sponsors is Fugro. They've sponsored us before, but they went to the platinum level this year. I think Fugro has probably been one of the most important companies we've talked to lately because they're so progressive, and they keep us in the know about new technologies. And I think we're going to be working on some things that are going to be kind of game changers in the coming future. So on Friday, we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the things we're talking to them about. Also, too, wanted to acknowledge Keith Owens for doing this. Shelby Coder, Glenn, they came from Australia to be here. So I think that's fantastic. I think that's just amazing that they did that. And so I did promise them that next year the forum would be held in Australia, so they don't have to fly. And I think we'll rent a Qantas or something, and we'll fly on over there. But Fugro, thank you very much for being a part of this and making this a special year. Our gold partners, we never had gold partners, this many of them before. AECOM, Nearmap, Ecopia is a new group that's coming on strong here in Texas, and we're looking forward to working more with them. Veritas, Planet, HDR, Vixel, Veritas, Altera, HAF, and Certix, WGI. I can't tell you just how much I appreciate you guys being a part of the team and also being part of our StratMap contracts. Just a huge deal for us. I mean, this is how we get things done in Texas, is working with this group here. And we have a list of exhibitors as well that are out there. And I really want you to take a note of the reason this actually happened is because they have a budget. They can only go so many places, and they chose to come here. And I think we need to acknowledge that when we talk to them. This is where they chose to be, and there's many, many conferences going on at the same time as ours right now across the country. So it just means the world to us that y'all chose to be with us. And so thank you very much. And could we give a big round of applause for all our sponsors? I did want to acknowledge the GIS or ACC GIS team over there. You know, we have our education program, and it's just kind of been one of those things that we've been reworking. And we really thought, who better to put on part of our training and our workshops than ACC? And they volunteered their facility over there at Highland Campus. If you haven't seen it, it's absolutely beautiful and amazing. Who here actually went to a workshop? Quite a bit. Yeah, I mean, ACC is an amazing campus, and I just have to give a shout out to all the ACC instructors that put in their time and let us use their facilities for this event. This is something that I do. We can't tell you how much we appreciate the community and really helping us put this event on. And with that, I do have to acknowledge Gayla Mullins, who has done an amazing job pulling this together with her team. This forum is extremely difficult to do. And I just wanted to, first of all, could we give an applause to Gayla Mullins? And I want Gayla to come up and acknowledge a few people on her team and also talk a little bit about what's going to be happening here in the next couple of days. Gayla?
Thank you, Ricky. Good morning, everyone. I'm so happy to see everyone here. So glad you made it out. Yes, this event takes a team for sure. And so I'd like to acknowledge those individuals. So when I say your name, please stand, and we will clap for them at the end. So we have Laura Sepulveda. I know she's probably already standing trying to usher people in, but Laura was a huge organizer of this event, and definitely she and I worked really closely on this as well with Gwen Crucy here, and Vanessa Escobar, right there, Space Longoria, thank you Space, Azia O'Brien, Jean Schlitzkis, who's the genius behind all of our crazy videos, Felicia Retiz, and Lauren Ramsey from the CMP crew and the entire conference staff here, and then also our entire Texas GIO staff, who are mostly sitting over here, are helping with moderating and tech assignments, and we're the hosts for you guys this week. So let's give everybody a round of applause. All right, if you need anything, please visit us at the Tex GIO booth or the registration desk. At our booth, we have our old booth is set up, the old screen that says Tenris on it, and we put some markers over there. So if you want to come and sign it, we're marking up because we don't need it anymore, right? We need to order a new TXGIO booth. We also have a map pin board out here in the front area where you can go and put a little pin on where you're coming from. So I think it'll be cool to see that distribution throughout the week. So I hope you have fun with that. I want to give you a little bit about what to expect for the week. So we do have a very full agenda. I do want to thank all of the presenters that have bravely stepped up, submitted their content to us, and have put themselves up on this stage, the stage in Little Tex, which is right next door, as well as the Balcones room. So this year we had so many presentations that were submitted that we decided to add a third track. So to get to the third track, that's in the Balcones room, and it is behind the USGS booth over by the cafe area. So if you're looking for Balcones, that's where that is. Tonight, I want to invite everyone to stay. Please stick around for our forum social. It happens right out here in the atrium area. It's sponsored by Fugro, and it's this evening from 5 to 7. And we'll have drinks, food, some games to get interactive with, and just have a nice time to relax and hang out with each other. I will have some music too. I don't think it'll look exactly like this picture, but this is what it will feel like to us all while we're there, partying and having fun. Tomorrow, our second keynote speaker is Dr. Jeremy Surrey. We're very excited to have him come back. He spoke at this event back in 2014. He is a historian. He is a distinguished professor at the LBJ School of Public Affairs, and he's going to be talking about mapping political power in the U.S. and the history behind the evolution of political maps. So this should be very interesting. So please stick around for his keynote presentation, which will be in this room at the end of tomorrow. Next, we have a gale of force winds approved flyer here with this thunderstorm happening on here. This is a MAPI hour that's happening tomorrow after the keynote. So this is off-site. This is sponsored by Eurissa, Texas, and the Supporting Women in Geography and GIS over at Oscar Blues at 5 o'clock. So please, if you can, join us over there for some more relaxing, connecting, networking, and fun over at Oscar Blues tomorrow. And then Friday morning is our fourth quarter GIS community meeting. And this is the fourth in a series of GIS community meetings that we have here in our state, where we talk about how we're driving GIS in Texas. So we really need our community, right? We need all of you. So we need all of you to come and provide feedback and let us know what your pain points are, what your needs are, what we're doing well, what we're not doing well, learn some things. So we'll definitely have updates from Richard, who is now, for those that don't know, the president of the National States Geographic Information Council. Round of applause. So he is now the head GIS person for the nation. It's pretty amazing. So let's take advantage of that and do what we can here in Texas while he's president. So we'll be talking about that. And then our strategic mapping program led by Joey Thomas will be talking about the state initiatives that we'll have going on here in Texas for data. I think that's all I have. Thank you. Back to Ricky.
Thank you, gale of force winds. Oh, yep, so I'll need that. And the one last thank you, that's I think extremely important. And I did mention how much it takes to actually put one of these events on. And we could not do it without the support of our parent agency, the Texas Water Development Board, who has always been there for us and wants us to make this happen. They support us in every way. They allow us to do what we need to do to keep this community strong. And it's just been, you just can't realize how important it is to have that kind of support from your agency. And with that, one of the busiest people at the Water Development Board is our chairwoman, Brooke Popp, who wanted to come and say just a couple of words to you to kick us off. And so could you please help me welcome Chairwoman Brooke Popp.
Well, good morning and howdy, y'all. Welcome. If y'all aren't from Austin, we have great margaritas and barbecue, so go out, hit the town tonight, and enjoy your time here. This is always one of my favorite events of the year, probably because most of y'all, or some of y'all might know this, I'm the lawyer on the board. I'm the legally blonde of the board. What you do is so different than my education. I think it is so exceptionally progressive, innovative, and it's just cool. Like, your jobs are just so much cooler than being a lawyer, honestly. I remember when I was first appointed to the board, Richard asked me to come and give some opening notes, and I had no idea what I was going to see at this wonderful conference. And the toys and the tools and the things that you do are just, they are so cool. So the next year I brought my, I think Henry was 10 years old at the time, my 10-year-old son. And he does not think mom has a cool job. I tell him I keep the faucets flowing and the potties flushing, and he really hates the toilet part. But He got to hang out with Richard and look at all the exhibitions. He was like, whoa, this is really cool. And it really encouraged him to look more at STEM and computers. And that was really neat because that was something that wasn't really in his wheelhouse before. But he thought it was just really, really cool. So I finally impressed my son. I think that was the last time I actually impressed my son. But that's another story. Again, what y'all do quite literally saves lives and property. At the board, we say the better the data, the better the science, the better the planning. And especially with our flood efforts and our first responder efforts, this innovative data and just getting better and more progressive and more proactive, it really is quite literally saving lives and property in the state of Texas and all around the United States and apparently in Australia, which I will be coming to that meeting, Ricky. But I just can't thank y'all enough for participating. Have great conversations, have those candid conversations. Let's innovate together. Let's make this world a safer place together. Data is the most important thing that we do at the board, other than money. Like, I'm a bank, so I throw a lot of money at people, and they like that. So that's something pretty cool. But I have to acknowledge that Richard is now President Ricky, and we are exceedingly proud of him. And we finally got Tenorus changed to Texas GIO. Brian, I think it took us, 3 to 4 sessions to make that very simple name change in the capital, which is as dysfunctional as normal. But to me, you always be Tenorus. I will try to change. Patrick keeps trying to remind me that there's a name change, and I am just like steadfast in calling him Tenorus because you're some of my favorite people, and that's where I came in from. And I guess with that, y'all just have a great time, learn, talk. Apparently there's some great happy hours. I think in the video, I think Ricky might have had something other than coffee in that mug. And maybe Gail too. I'm not entirely sure. But enjoy yourselves, and we're really happy to host y'all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Chairwoman Pop. I can't tell you how much we do appreciate everything that you've done for us. Chairwoman Pop reminds me every time I'm at a board meeting that I have the best job at the state, and I cannot argue that. I cannot absolutely argue that. Somebody asked me, when do you retire? And I said, when Chairwoman Pop stops telling me I have the best job in the state, then maybe I'll retire. But listen, we're going to go ahead and get things rolling with the keynote. But before I do that, one thing I really wanted to just acknowledge that was very important to us when we started planning for this. Our idea was we need to celebrate this group right here, and the reason I'm saying that is because I was asked to run for president of NISJIC. And the reason I was asked to do that is because how well we got it down here in Texas. I've met with almost every GIO at the state, at all the different states, and I listened to their issues, and we have none of those. They bicker between agencies. The ones with the money don't play with the ones who need data. They'll just get the data they want, and if it works for you, great. If it doesn't, who cares? This is the kind of mentality that's out there. And when they, start talking to us in Texas, they say, "Do you have that? Is that your problem?" And I say, "No." Quite the opposite. These are my friends. This is a community that respects each other. This is a community that makes things happen. And the reason why, we've been refunded over at Texas GIO is because of the amount of great things we do with that money and the return that we get on it. We do save lives. We do save property. But the good news is that we're all friends and we work together. When somebody needs something, we support them. Our GIS solution group is a group of people that I trust more than anything to help us drive Texas. And they will look at a problem, even if it's not necessarily something they worry too much about, the state needs it and they'll support it. And so I can't tell you what it's like to have this kind of a backing with a group like this. You guys always come, you're always here, you're always supportive. If we say we need help with something, you're always there. And this is about you guys. And so, you know, I couldn't be more proud to be part of the Texas GIS community. And that's what this is about. This is about branding us, okay? You know, realistically, I want this to be when you know, eventually when we get patches or apparel or anything that says Texas GIS, that's us. And that's what's going to bind us together. We're already bound together, but it's good to know who people are. There are people coming in and people leaving. But it's been amazing. You guys have been amazing. This is about you. And I do want to, Tex Geo and the Water Development Board would like to applaud you. But there's a few of us, so let's all applaud each other. And thank you for everything you guys have done. So with that, we have a keynote that I think you're going to be pretty impressed with, and I'm going to bring up Joe Sepulveda, who was the one that actually found Johnny for us and had some conversations, and we went, that's the person we need. And so I'm going to go ahead and let Joe talk about how that all went down. And so help me welcome Joe Sepulveda.